Hey everybody, I'm Francesca Maxime and this is WiseGirl for Thursday, December 1st. So nice to see you again and hope y'all had a good holiday with friends or family, or maybe you were working on the holiday, but hopefully you still got some good eats in. Today on WiseGirl, I wanted to check in first to just let y'all know that I tried to do a little Facebook Live experiment, and that experiment was to see whether or not you liked it and to see if you would like me to do a Facebook Live broadcast once a week, maybe Fridays at noon or something like that for a half an hour, where you can actually ask me questions live on Facebook. So please tweet me at Francesca Maxime or send me a comment on my YouTube videos here or on Facebook to let me know what you'd like to do about that, and any topics that you might like me to cover in WiseGirl that are important to you, because this is for you. It's for me too. It's fun. And I don't know, if you find it useful, that's the most important part. And if you don't, then turn it off. So today I wanted to talk briefly about a couple different things. One is the idea that we're drawn to certain kinds of activities that people can do, and we're also sort of pushed away from or aversive to others. For example, we love it when we get a compliment. If somebody says, gee, I love your sweater, that's great, it's a beautiful color, or if they say, wow, you're so flexible in yoga class, or if they say something like, you did such a great job on that marketing report, or I just love this gift you gave me, or that suit or that dress looks really nice on you. We're all gonna sort of bask in that kind of attention, and it's good for us to have a certain amount of feeling like other people are interested in our well-being and that they're willing to share and be generous with their compliments. The problem is, right, sometimes we have all those nice things on the one hand, but then on the other hand, we might get blamed for stuff, right? We don't like the fact that people might call us out on something and say, oh, you look terrible, or gee, you did an awful job on that, or I can't stand the way that you chew your food. Who knows what it is? Something perhaps much more serious. And there are certain things that could very much hurt our feelings or make us feel bad if we allow them to make us feel bad. But that they're kind of a pair, right? One can exist and we're drawn to it and we want more of it. And the other one is something that can also exist, but we don't want any of it. And we realize that, like, hey, I don't want the blame. I just want the praise. Well, accepting that obviously that's not always the case is part of what can kind of give us a little bit more well-being, because we realize that one does not exist without the other. And the secret to overall ease, living in ease, is to not really attach yourself to either one, right? So it's sort of like the idea that you're sort of indifferent to the fact that somebody's giving you a compliment, even though you're appreciating it and you recognize that it's a form of generosity. You also know that just as easily someone could give you a not so nice comment and blame you for something that, you may not have intended to do, that, may have caused a problem or may not. It just could be that the person just doesn't like whatever it is. And so to maintain what we call a certain amount of equanimity, so I'll take back that word of indifference, because that's really not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say that you have a certain ease of mind and peace of mind and a certain ability to see both things and hold them both, and not just reject one and accept the other and be drawn to the other, that you're able to sort of hold them both and able to say, I recognize that they both exist, and I am going to be centered enough in myself so that I don't get pulled into elation. The sun is shining. It's a gorgeous day. I got a compliment. I got a bonus from my boss, to depression, which is, it's raining, it's cold, it's snowy, I have no money in my bank account, my boyfriend or girlfriend just broke up with me, and the world is coming to an end. Equanimity gives us the opportunity to kind of exist in the middle, where we are centered despite whatever's happening, And then that opens us up to an ability to respond to the reality of our lives as opposed to just react in a way that makes us subject to whatever's happening, as opposed to in ourselves, in our body, breathing, and then able to come up with what is best for us, which may be a simple thank you in the case of a compliment, or it also may be that we just need to also say quietly to ourselves, thank you. If someone gives us a negative comment, but thinks that they're right or whatnot, we don't have to take it on. We don't have to own it. We don't have to let it seep into our pores. We don't have to be, something that just, falls right through. We can be a semi-permeable membrane. We can keep out some of this stuff that otherwise, even some of the good stuff, we can let it come, but let it go. Let it be more fluid. And the same thing besides praise and blame can be said for gain or loss, whether or not it's a loved one or a job or riches and bankruptcy. It can also be said for pleasure and pain. If you are in the throes of ecstasy, enjoying a delicious meal or lovemaking or a roller coaster ride or whatever it is that you feel is enlivening for you. But then also what happens when you are either sick or you have a really bad diagnosis, or something happens with, your foot while you're playing tennis or out playing soccer, and you break your ankle. There's a certain amount of pain associated with all those things, but it doesn't negate the fact that the pleasure is also there. The pleasure is also there and will be there, and that when we hold ourselves into a kind of focused attention and we are able to go back to our breathing, our mindful living, our centeredness, and also knowing that we're okay, having a deep appreciation for the fact that we can allow both of these things to exist, we can return to ourselves and we can rest in the fact that we can hold space for both without grasping for one and rejecting another. That we can just accept things as they are for the moment and not have to attach a whole new storyline to it and create an encyclopedia where in some ways there may be more of a sentence or two or a paragraph, to use an analogy. The other thing that we can kind of use as a form of attachment and aversion is, fame and they call it disrepute, right? Infamy. Fame and people, sort of taking you down, a bad reputation, if you will, that we want people to, herald us, if you will, as a way of, affirming our worth, showing that we're important to the world, making sure that, we have some kind of purpose or meaning. It's coming from a place of wanting to be nurtured. But what happens is, and we've seen it in the media, and I've reported on it as a reporter and as a journalist many, many times, is that one minute, you are the hot ticket in town, and then like flavor of the month, you are out the next minute, and you are no longer the one that is being held in high esteem because, somebody else comes along and they may be more appealing. So I just wanted to kind of say that there's this whole idea of, having the ability to stay centered while these two ideas of aversion and grasping kind of go along with our lives, but not to have to attach ourselves to those stories. We don't have to be stuck in this idea of dying people to feed us praise and, really, really feeling like we're down in the dumps based on the fact that somebody might blame us for something or not hold us in such high esteem. but that the longer and the better we become at staying centered and focused through things like meditation or whatever practice that is centering for us, maybe a walk in nature, maybe a walk with the dog, maybe a swim every day, something that hopefully can connect also to your body and not just up here, but at the very least connect to your body through your breath. The more that we're able to do that, the more we're cultivating an ability to neurologically, frankly, respond versus react because of the way that our brain works. It actually gets patterned in a new way the more times that we're able to just sort of sit in equanimity with wisdom and peace of mind and say, yep, there's some of that praise again. There's some of that blame again. And not tell ourselves all new stories about it that go on and say, I love this, I want more of this, and I hate that, and better make this go away. So, all right, that's it for now on that one. Like I said, tweet me, email me, send me stuff if you want. That was a bit of a long little wise girl for you, but hopefully it was helpful. And if it's not or it's confusing, type in some comments and let me know what you got to know, what you'd like to know more about, and hopefully I can clarify it. All right, talk to you later. Bye for now.